Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent Mays with Listings to Leads. So let's talk briefly about just at a high level what Listings to Leads is, right? And we have been here for about 15 years. We are a real estate advertising platform primarily designed for realtors to build their business. And we do this, with ad software. We do this with social media. We do this with print, and we do this with e-flyers. And all the things that we do, they have a lot of call to action. So if you're an agent from any of the top brands or from any boutique, you usually have your branding covered, right? You've got your logo straight and your color guidelines are all there. What you don't have covered is lead gem. And so it's kind of our philosophy that realtors take multiple actions. They do multiple actions throughout the day. They're sharing information, they're interacting with buyers and sellers. And the way they're doing that typically is kind of informational, but not with any call to actions, not with any ability to capture leads. So, great companies, appear like Zillow and Realtor.com and many others that start charging a lot of money for leads. And there's obviously a question of a ROI on that. For, I think, just from my ballpark of talking to so many agents for 15 years, it seems like, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50 agents, the ROI from a big portal really works. And they get tied into a contract, and then they hear about us, and then they realize, hey, for a lot less money, we have a lot more reach here and a lot more capabilities to build our brand. So that's really what Listings to Leads is about. We'll dive into it and look at it in a minute. But when you sign up as a lender, or when you sign up as a title professional, it's really to change your conversation from calling agents about today's rates and how fast you can do that and how great you are, and really having, because there's that's a constant kind of call going on. But this is a different value that you're bringing to the conversation. And it's a value not just of a simple technology platform, but it's a value once you get your arms around it to help them grow their business. And we have a lot of examples of clients, of agents over the year growing tremendously, moving from one state to another and having to build out a whole new business and then starting their own office because they just are using certain tools of ours. And we just have rookie agents, or we have established agents just growing business. And one of the recent stories that we heard from one of our clients is for every listing that they market through our platform, they get 2.2 more listings. Okay. So if you're trying to multiply your business, it's actually not bad. You're growing it, by 100%. And there's a lot of ways we can do that and help that way. And so let's kind of get into that a little bit. First of all, as you can imagine, there's a lot to it. Now, I do live training every week, and my partner Scott does as well. And we record all of those. So if you look here, I'll send this link to everybody right now. This is leadgenwebinars.com. And this is where you can sign up for our live classes. And so today it's the class for lenders. On Monday, it's top tools for more listings. And on Thursday, Facebook and Google ads. And then Scott will be doing on, I think, the following Monday, social media database. This is kind of like how to build out your farm, it's critical. The things that I go through, including Get Started, they're all kind of about that. But as you can imagine, this is a little more, the Facebook Google class, a little more technical on how you actually run ads, right? The tools to get listings it's a little more nuts and bolts, but here, it's a little bit holistic of, hey, you got to build a farm. And that's really what all of our things are about, is how you can advertise with print, with ads, with social media, and with email to get into your markets, right? And to find more buyers and to find more sellers and convert them into business. That's what we do. So leadgenwebinars.com, that's definitely going to help you if your schedule works with ours. If your schedule doesn't work with ours, we record every call that we do, including the one we're sitting on right now. And they're right here. So you'll see here that I did Get Started a couple days ago, Facebook and Google, another Get Started. And here is Scott's kind of, farm mastery. database mastery, and then top tools for more listings. And then there's another call for listings to leads for lenders. You might want to listen to that one. I think one of our lender clients kind of jumped on and was giving some, a story there. But I'll tell you this. So when you're working as a lender with agents and you're helping them, you're giving them access, and let me kind of speak to that first, because I might be jumping the gun here. When you go to our lender page, you will notice that you start a free trial for 30 days. And you can do that either as a lender or as a title professional. And you can choose to have an account for up to 5 agents, which currently cost $150 a month, or up to 50 agents, which cost $250 a month. And if you're thinking about, testing us out, I recommend you do that sooner rather than later, because I know we're working on a price increase, which will roll out sometime next year. And so you'll be grandfathered in with whatever, plan you've chosen. But the point is that you're giving you, if the first plan is, up to 5 agents, they can have access to listings to leads for free. Okay. You're paying for it. And usually with lenders, they'll provide the software, and then the agent provides, some money on the Facebook ad side because they like that part. And maybe they split the cost or share the cost on some of the printing things that go out. And a lot of the other tools are sort of free, but that's kind of like how you work with somebody in that, right? So when we look at these classes, if you're a lender, you want to be really focused on working with agents who have listings. And this is ideal. Now, it's not always going to happen that way, but that's kind of the ideal way of making it kind of work, right? And so when you're doing that, what am I trying to say here? When you're running ads, you can be copied on the leads that are, going to the agent. So if you're working with an agent who has listings, well, now you're very quickly able to run ads, get buyer leads with name, email, and phone number. And many lenders say, let me jump on those leads and make sure they're pre-qualified so that you're not driving around all day. And in this case, you're adding even more value to your relationship, right? So that works. A lot of lenders also will, hey, I'm going to just work with agents who have listings. They're busy people. I'm going to run the ads myself as a lender and pay for those. And I'm just going to convert those leads, and that way I have the loan locked in, and I can say, hey, they're approved for 500 grand or whatever the number is. Agent, would you help them out? Right. So, because there's a reality that sometimes you're helping agents and they hand the loan off to somebody else, and that's always a little bit frustrating. So, that there are ways to work with the system, but what I'm pointing out and want to stress is that our Facebook ad software is the fastest, cheapest, and easiest way to get leads with name, email, and phone number. So if you're a lender, you definitely want to watch Facebook and Google, because you want to know, I right at the beginning of every class, I say, here's how you get buyer leads. It's easy. Bang, bang. We're actually going to do it today. But, to really be a partner for any realtor, and this is true whether you're in title or whether you're in lending, not only buyer leads that you want to help them, you especially now, you really want to be able to speak to the fact that you can help them get more listings. And if you can tell that to an agent, they're going to listen, right? You obviously, the industry is kind of shifting a little bit with compensation and stuff like that. So to be able to speak to an agent and say, hey, you know what, you want more listings? I've got a system that has multiple ways of getting you listing leads. Why don't we try some? I've got a free seat for you. And you will see that that's what top tools for more listings is right here. And with that, I highly recommend that every agent or person that is interested in getting listings watch at least 2 or 3 versions of that class, because Scott and I get a lot of feedback from our clients, and we're also changing and adding things to make things more effective and easy. So we definitely want our clients to know that, which means I can't say the exact same thing on every class. And that's why I recommend that you look for top tools for more listings and you watch a couple of those, right? It's pretty simple. Here's one here. The title is right on the top. Some of the stuff, maybe 50, 70% will be the same. but there's going to be parts of it where I'm going down a particular side of the platform, and you want to make sure that, you understand it, because if you do, your business, your real estate partner's business can grow, right? Now, all that being said, there's another resource for all of our clients, and that's the mastermind group. So if you're a client, you can email support at listings or support page in the account, and you can ask them to get you in here. And this is where Scott and I share what's going on, right? What we're doing, what's happening, some of the new things that are going on. It's also a place where agents ask questions, right? So, well, not only will they ask questions, but they'll say, hey, this is what I'm doing, right? Um, and so you can really kind of learn a lot from this page, right? Now we'll talk about Brian here. He put something on last week saying, how do you use us to celebrate agent closings, right? And we actually have things to celebrate birthdays for the agent, stuff like that. But that's a good question. And sometimes we can, create something that's available for everybody. But there's a lot that is shared in this group. So we'll leave this page open because we're going to have to come back to this. All right. So let's get into an actual account and look at what we have here, right? So at what I want you to see kind of at this point is, what does it do, right? What does this platform do? And we won't go in full detail, but I want to kind of high level talk about this first, right? So we have listing marketing. We should be able to auto sweep your listings, pull them in here, and create a bunch of tools, things like automated social media posts, listing landing pages, single property websites, virtual tours. We auto post a virtual tour to your YouTube channel. We put it on ours by default, but we can put it on yours too if you can connect it. And then we have print tools and e-flyer tools and QR codes and mobile optimized stuff. And just got a lot going on when it comes to social media or just real estate marketing. The thing also worth, mentioning here, and I said it in the beginning, is our tools are not just here to help you brand and help you advertise, right? They're here to help you capture leads. And so here, we'll have maybe a virtual tour. There'll be a photograph of the home. There'll be the kind of stuff that you think you would expect here. You can even snap in video and things like that. But I want to point out that at some point, this form is going to pop up. And when you click continue with Facebook, we grab the name and email of the person who clicks it, and we deliver it to you and the agent, right? You can also have things like, here's something that's down payer assistant. And for our lender clients, I definitely recommend that you get your online application and maybe put it right there and say, get pre-approved, right? You can do that on the lead links page of our system, and that becomes a tool or a link that's associated to all of that agent's marketing. So if you're adding agents and you want to add a link that says, get pre-approved pointing to your website, you can do that. These other links might actually point to the agent's website, or in this case, it's pointing to one of our landing pages. But you can point it to an actual agent's website. I don't recommend that all the time unless they've got a really solid kind of website. But what I do want to point out here is we have call to actions all over the place, right? Multiple links up there. You can download these PDF guides. You got to give up your contact information here. And even at the bottom, there's a marketing plan if you want to learn how we market a home. We're not talking about listing leads. We're talking about the agent, your reviews, more listings, and even what is your home worth. So really this page here, which we're just looking at a single property website for a property, has multiple call to actions. And that's the point of using listings to lead, is let's get some more leads. Let's get buyer leads and seller leads. So if you don't have listings, we also create for you, because, I think that's kind of our perspective. I don't even know the average in the industry right now, but I'm going to say that the average agent has less than 10 listings a year. And there's a lot of part-timers. So that's why that's the case, right? So if that's the case, that means that there are times where agents have listings and there are times where agents don't have listings. And that's why we create things like PDF guides and social content and landing pages. So let's look at those. So on the PDF guides, you can focus on buyers or sellers. And it doesn't matter. Let's look at a first-time home buyer. And when you click on marketing tools, you'll have multiple ways of advertising it. Facebook ads, Google ads. You could share it for free on social media. We can even share it for you automatically. You have an e-file for your database. And if you're an agent with a lot of leads and you're dripping on them with some stale drip campaign, you probably want to copy our stuff here and use it in just blast it out on your leads in your CRM. Database, call scripts, print flyers, QR codes, door hangers, right? So print, email, and ad software and free social media sharing to get every one of these out. And there's 80 PDF guides out there. So I'm going to just download one. We do it in English. We do it in Spanish. These are branded entirely to the agent, right? So when they come in, they're going to have their logo and stuff like that and their picture. So all that will show up there, right? On some of the tools, they're co-branded for lenders, like the single property website, some of the landing pages, stuff like that. So let's go look at the landing pages over here. So landing pages are different from PDF guides. In a way, you can think of them as a term, if you ever heard of like sales funnels, right? You have something out there. In this case, it might be a landing page. And when you get to it, it's kind of a funnel. It's going to collect your information and bring it back to you, right? Deliver it to you. So we grab it and send it to you. Just like the PDF guides, you can click on marketing tools and you can market with Facebook. You can market for free on social media. And normally, this is a new one, you would also have a flyer and a print tool, an e-flyer and a print tool. Most of the other landing pages have that. So there's other cool stuff. Our client review page is really powerful. Lots of lead gen there as well. And then our ad software is here. And that's probably, I mentioned this at the beginning, probably one of the most important parts of our platform. If you're if your focus is to grow your business with lead generation and lead conversion, I think our Facebook ad software, it's some of the best in the entire industry. It's definitely the easiest, right? And we'll come back and I'll show you how to do this in a moment. But if you need buyer leads, Facebook is slam dunk. You got to be using our stuff. If you need seller leads, there's some great ways of getting seller leads with Facebook ads. You can also get higher quality seller leads from Google. I don't recommend Google for buyers, but I do recommend it for getting listing leads. But they're higher quality, and guess what? They're a lot more expensive. There are a lot of ways to get leads, seller leads and buyer leads. But if it's fast and easy and cheap that you're looking for, Facebook ad software through our platform is the way to go. Now, remember, I mentioned that I do a class specifically on that. So I'm not going to give you all the details of how to do that, but we will go through a couple ads in a minute here. What I do want to talk about, though, is how you set people up, right? Because when you are an agent or a lender or a title, you sign up for X number of seats, right? And you give those to people, and they'll get an intro email, right? And you want to be, I caution you to just do that without telling them, because, we live in this modern world. Everybody's getting 100 or 200 emails every day, and they just receive something randomly from us and it says your name, like, hey, you invited them to this. They may not know what that is, and they may just ignore it. And our system does not do anything if it's ignored. And specifically, this wizard right here, I want to walk you through it so you understand the power of this and what it's going to do, and why you want to make sure that when you invite an agent, that they are aware of it and that they are going to take advantage of it. Okay. So when they sign up, it's going to ask for their headshot, and that's kind of easy, right? And their contact info, they get that. Get their logo in. We have branding color schemes for some of the big agencies, but you can also put your own here. And if there's not a red asterisk, you don't actually need to fill it out, right? So you get your branding in. And once they get their branding in, that starts to flow through all the PDF guides, all the print tools, the e-flyers, everything we do. Like, it's going to be branded to work with it. Now, then we get to this social media section, right? And this is where the agent connects as with their stuff, and we will auto post to their social media accounts on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, Google My Business, and even YouTube, right? But this is auto posting for your listings and landing pages. Okay. So you definitely want to do that. Then it says connect for paid ads. And this is for Facebook. So you click through there and you connect your ad account. And then we ask you to connect again. And this is really where it kind of gets confusing for agents because they're like, I just connected all these. But we're doing different functions. There are different software packages from Facebook, and you need to go through all of these, right? And so you connect the socials that you want. And I do want to speak to this, very briefly. We have a lot of feedback from our clients, and the feedback we're getting is that their Instagram accounts are growing because they like this content. Just a broad market likes the content. We chose, colorful, nice pictures, not bad pictures. We're not making these heavy reading like industry, articles that people got to read. It's for social media, and nobody has any attention span for social media. So by turning it on and getting your Instagram account connected, you can actually build your followers. Now on Google My Business, that's a Google business page that some agents have, and they really don't know what to do with it. I do want to tell you that our clients are finding that the SEO of those business pages is going to page 1, right? So if you're doing a real estate search in your local market and you have us connecting and posting content on a frequent basis every week, and there are all kinds of topics like home design, quotes, outdoor living, maintenance, and even some kind of real estate meme stuff and holiday stuff. Like if you have us continually doing this throughout the week, it's going to help their SEO. And that's really great to be able to say that, because if they do have Google My Business, they don't even know how to manage it, right? And that's understandable because there's no real, classes that I can see on that. So whenever I talk to somebody who has Google My Business, they don't even know what's happening. You do kind of need that, however, for running ads. But if they don't, then you should tell them you should set it up and we should get this going, because Google is the number 1 website in the country. 86% of all questions happen there. So you want to be competitive, and you want to be competitive on the number 1 website, which is Google. So here, this page is how you add listings. And so based on the agent's email address that's in their MLS, so if they put that in there, we should be able to sweep. If their MLS isn't working with our partner List Hub, then they might have to add it manually. And if they don't have listings, they can grab a listing, and they can do this at any time. They might be in a big office, and a lot of those agents have listings, and they can borrow them and run ads and do things like that. We make it very easy by grabbing. You just need the zip code and the MLS ID, and that'll pull it in, and it'll put it in our account, and then we can do all kinds of things. Then we also have the ability to connect your CRM. Okay. And if they have a CRM, great, connect it. If it's not there, there's a way for other CRMs, which is like email forwarding. But that's so wherever the agent captures a lead, it's going to drop into their CRM. And then the last section is we can auto sweep their listing, their reviews that are online into our system so that they show up on relevant tools. And also we create a web page specifically talking about their reviews, right? So once you've got all that set up, you have turned on everything, right? And that took us a couple of minutes to go through that. If you're going to introduce an agent to this, whether you're a loan officer or a title professional, you want to make sure that they go through that, right? That they actually do that work, because then it starts to just become very impressive. All right. So if you've done that, I want to point you to the things that I think you should be doing. And I'm going to pull up, I think I have a doc here. Let me see if I have it there. One of my lender clients actually asked me, and that reminds me, if you're on the call right now, in the panel of the GoToMeeting navigation bar, there is a button that says more. It has 3 dots on it. And it has a Facebook and Google ad flyer, and it has a top tools for more listings flyer. There we go. Please open up both of these. And you remember that earlier I was talking about these classes. These are the outlines for those classes. But you should be printing up, a handful of these. And as you're talking to agents, this is what you want to just give them, right? And say, hey, you know what? I got this great system. Now, there are some other tools. I'll show them to you in a minute. But these are the action items. These are the two outlines that honestly every agent should be acting on a weekly basis. Okay. If they want more listings, they should be doing something on this top tools, more listing. If they want more buyer and seller leads, they should be running ads on Facebook and Google. And I list out the kinds of things they can do here. And so for you to be able to speak to these two documents and give them to an agent, they're going to know like, okay, and say, hey, by the way, I'll set you up with a free account and we can work together on this. I'll help you use it. So these are in the more section of the GoToMeeting chat panel. But I want to see if I was able to pull up. Yeah, got it here. Good. What is that? Okay. So a lender actually asked me just a little bit ago, like, what should I do when I get an agent on? And so I'm going to get this kind of branded up, and I think this will be really helpful in the future. One is half of these things are in the wizard that we just looked at, right? Get their appearance, get their logo stuff, connect their social media for auto posting, connect social media. Then I say create a landing page. This is important. Create a home valuation landing page, and I'll show you how to do that. Create one ad for an active listing. Create one ad on a sold listing. Now, this might be difficult to do because they might not have listings. So if they don't, you want to tell them, go borrow one. Go talk to your office and find a listing that's sold in the past 60 days. And let's manually get it in the account. And if they have, and if they can borrow an active listing, let's get that and grab the listing. Like some agents can just do that on the fly. Others, it's going to take them a little while. But get those in as soon as you can and then run those ads immediately. I'm going to show you how to do that. Then print out the nearby home letter. I will show you how to do that. And print out the listing presentation. So this is, I hope you can take a snapshot. I'm going to actually send this to you in, I'm going to get our marketing person to kind of make this a flyer, but I'm going to send this to everybody right now. And if you can copy that literally, this is how, from my perspective, if you do these things, which is basically go through the wizard, get them to create a property valuation plus page, run 2 ads, print out a letter that they don't even have to use. They just need to know it exists and it will impress them. And then print out the listing presentation. So let's go do that and go. Okay. So number 1 is create a property valuation place. Well, before we get into that, let me make sure I got you guys on the right side. So yeah, we went through that. Remember we went to landing pages and I said you can mark it. So when you come to this page, and right now, where is somebody? We've got a few people here. What city? Just give me the name of the city, and I'll show you exactly how you do this. When every agent and every lender lines up or signs up, they actually have some of these tools automatically waiting for them. Free home values, down payer assistance, new construction, iBuyer, and this investor pay. These are there, but they can have multiple answers, or they can have multiple landing pages, right? Actually unlimited landing pages. And so this is what you want to do, because when you're bringing value to an agent, you want to go through the wizard and say, hey, we're going to do all this automation. Great. But now that we got the automation turned on, let's talk about how you're going to get more listings. And now you've got their interest. Click that button and you're going to walk the agent through this, or you can log in as them and do it themselves. And just type in the name of the town that you want to work on. I'm just going to type in Elk Grove, right? And create a landing page. And all of our landing pages are all template driven. So it's really simple for agents to create landing pages. And I really think it's beneficial that you create a property valuation plus landing page for every farm market that the agent's working in, right? Now, it takes time and money to get these things out, right? Like if you're going to do a mailing, it's going to have, it's going to take time and money. If you're going to run an ad, it's going to take money. It'll take maybe 10 seconds, but it's going to take money. But if you're able to just say, hey, we've got a tool that once you're ready, we can drive people to, well, That's great for the agent. Now they know there's food for thought, that there is something to help them. And so what you want to do, wherever your town is, you want to upload an image, a photograph that is from that town. Okay. And that could be like a nice restaurant. It could be like a landmark of some sort, right? I'm going to put this one here. This is not Elk Grove. It's actually from Harbor right next to me. But you want something that stands out, right? That people are going to go, oh, yeah, that is the area, right? And you save it. And once you've done that, now you may not, the agent, or you might not have that photograph available, but I'm showing you this is all you need to do to make this thing powerful. And once it's ready, now you're able to market. Now, the thing is, like, I really recommend, like a picture of Main Street, a picture of whatever it is that the local people are going to know. Because once you start advertising it, you have to realize you're putting out a tool that's going to ask people for their address and contact information, and they don't know who you are, right? So if you want to establish any level of trust, you don't want to come out with a coffee cup and a ballpoint pen. You want to say, hey, I know your area. This is a page. This is a picture that we all know because we know this area, right? Now, once you've done that, you click on marketing, and you don't have to actually go this far, right? You don't have to say, hey, let's run an ad. Some people do, but you don't have to do that. You just have to get it ready and say, hey, you know what? Now that we have that, we can run ads on Facebook and Google, and we can share it for free on social media. And we got an e-flyer. If you got leads, you can actually click this button over here, and listings to leads will auto post it to your social media for you. Right. So, and then you got door hangers, which are really, if you listen to my class on top tools for more listings, you're going to realize, like, door hangers are really something that our clients are using, postcards, all that. Right. So let's go back to my Word doc. And I said, create that property valuation page. And you're really just showing it to them. And you're kind of walking them through what I just showed you, which is, this is how you're going to be able to get it out into the market. Then it says create a Facebook ad for an active listing and for a sold listing. So if they're brand new to the system, if they have their own listings, we would have been auto sweeping them as soon as they went through the wizard. But they might not have their own listings. So you can say, hey, can you borrow one from an office? Right. And if they say yes, then get them to their listings page. This button here that says grab listing, and drop in the zip code and MLS ID. And then we create all these tools. So I'm going to show you right here that this is how you create an ad for a listing. Okay. You click on market listing. All these things are here, but we just want to focus on creating a Facebook and Google ad. And all these things they can do. They take a couple seconds, right? It might take you 15, 20 minutes to go through all these things, but the number one most effective way of getting leads is the Facebook stuff. So when you click that button, we write the ad. All you got to do is create ad, right? Now I'm going to show you a couple things here, and I go into detail and slower. You can customize this. Just click in the box and say, hey, we got a new granite kitchen, or we got a barn, or we got whatever, right? I got great schools. You can also, if you're working with agents in the southern part of the country where, they have nice winters or livable winters, they might want to target people in other cities or states, right? New York City, Chicago, stuff like that. If you're working with agents in Florida or Texas or Arizona, that's always like a thing that's happening, right? And then lastly, that I want to show you is if you click change image/video, if you're working with agents that are investing in videography, right? Video is great. It's compelling. People love to look at video, but there's never lead capture in it. If you upload it here, there is lead capture. It's our lead capture, right? But I also want to show you this. If they don't have video, they can click on 5 images, click insert, and this creates a carousel ad, right? And that's a more powerful ad than a static image ad. Okay. And that's it. So you need to create one ad for a property that is for sale. And, a lot of agents will borrow a listing when they're holding an open house for somebody. So it'll set the open house. But let's also talk about what you want to do, which is you want to remind this that's going to be your business partner that you can help them get listings. And so if you say, hey, let's get a sold listing in the system, and this one is sold, and let's run it out on Facebook. There, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of ways to market a sold listing: print postcards, e-flyers, nearby homeowner letter. Great, right? But the fast, easy way is to run a Facebook ad. It's a $50 ad. These leads on average cost $7 each. So divide 7 into 50. You could expect 7 leads. 7 times 7 is $49 in about a week or less, right? You just click that button. So what I'm showing you here in just a couple of minutes is you could literally be getting buyer leads and seller leads to yourself and to your agent partners in just a couple clicks. And they're going to have name, email, and phone number. This is really like, this is why I think you need to do it. Now, if you have a listing in the account, and let's imagine that they don't even have a listing there, we do have the White House in there. We might need to change that, but we use that as a placeholder if you don't have any listings in there. And whatever it is, if there is a listing sitting there, have them click, or you can do this yourself. You can click on the nearby homeowner letter and turn this on. And I'm going to download the nearby homeowner. This is the number one tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay. And again, remember I talk about this class that I do called Top Tools for More Listings. It is the number one tool. And I have clients using this and getting listings from this all the time. It's a very simple piece of paper that you mail to people with equity. Okay. And if you have our account, if you have your account connected to our printing partner, you can just say, hey, print and mail. Now you're using Express Copy, and you say, hey, Express Copy, use your mailing list and mail this to single family homeowners with more than 6 years equity in a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius. You decide. And all you got to do is click submit order, right? It's $185. It's $1.85 per letter, but they download it, they fold it, they address the envelope, and they send it out. Now, this is an easy way to do it. If you watch my Top Tools for More Listings, you'll find that this is one of the most popular tools we have. But our clients actually do it themselves. They handwrite letters, they do their own custom envelopes. They want people to open that. You could tell it wasn't a really heavy read, but it's straight to the point. Things are going on that affect your home value. And who's going to take a piece of paper to their own computer, type in that address, type in their own home address and their email? Only people who want their home value, very seriously. There's all kinds of tools here that you can still market that sold home. The highest quality leads come from mailing this letter to people with equity. So you want to get this, and if you click send, you can actually send it to the agent, right? But what I really want you to do is get them to this page and say, hey, just print this so that you have something to remind of what you need to do, right? Of what's going to help you get high quality listing leads. So we created the Property Valuation Plus page. We ran an ad to get buyer leads. We ran an ad to get seller leads. We talked about the nearby homeowner letter. Let's talk about the listing presentation. Okay. And if we go to the listings page, there are some other tools and they're cool. This one here says listing presentation. And we want to concentrate on the property marketing plan, which is really a listing presentation, but it's part of it, but we call it the property marketing plan. Now, if I download it here, this is a generic one. It's branded to me. It's got your picture, but it's generic it's not about a particular home. It's just about, this is what I do as an agent to sell your home. But if you create a listing manually and you put the listing presentation, or you put the status as a listing presentation, well, we're not going to advertise it all over the internet. We're going to create a listing with its own listing presentation. Now we have one right here, and I'll show you what I mean. You see this property here, it says on Riley Street, and it says it's a listing presentation. So if I click market listing, you see all these things that we recognize, but actually what we really want, and this is what you want to show to an agent. You may not want to get them to add a link because they may not be going on a listing presentation. So get them to download the generic one, right? The one that's for their account. But once they see that, they should not only print it, they should not only download it, they should print it. This is saying all the things that we are doing, right? This is what listings to leads is really helping agents do. But it doesn't mention listings to leads. It just says, hey, here's my logo here, here's my company. So it's all about the agent, right? And then there's YouTube marketing and there's print marketing, and it's all the stuff that we do, right? That we even create a QR code for them, right? And you can say, hey, homeowner, why don't you scan that real fast? It will take their phone to a mobile optimized single property website. So the agent's able to say, hey, I'm already working on your account, right? I'm already helping you, right? Imagine being in a listing presentation and you have to speak to technology because I don't know, I guess maybe half the agents are still saying, I'm going to put it in the MLS and that's just going to change your world. Well, if you want to be a leading agent, you're going to leverage technology and social media and ads and all these things. And that's what this document's about. But when you put a photograph in the listing presentation, every image that's showing the home is the image of their home. So they can really visualize what's going on, like how you, the agent, are going to market this home. This is really powerful. Agents love this. Homeowners love this, and they sign contracts when this is put in front of them. So that's kind of my, my little cheat sheet that I sent there. Are there any questions about what's going on? And I will say this, there's a lot more to the platform, right? But what you have to think of is whether you're a title professional or a loan officer, you want to add more value to your conversation. And I think what I've been showing you here is some automation that's going to help them with their branding and some tools that are going to help them get buyer and seller leads. I only showed you 2 ads on Facebook. There are a lot more ads you can run on Facebook, and there are ads that you can run on Google. And there are other ways of just sharing. We can share automatically content to your social that doesn't cost anything. So it really makes the agent, feel like they got some marketing behind them. There's a lot to listings to leads. I definitely recommend that you join us on leadgenwebinars.com and that you get on this YouTube channel. And I will tell you this, if you're watching this on a recording, you can email me if you need those documents that I've been, trying to get people to download here on this call. Just email and say, hey, can I have, the 2 PDFs from the webinar? But I also want to point this out on our YouTube channel. If I always link directly to that training thing because I want agents to get serious about our system. But there's a which is really like specific areas that, we just answer, not in an hour class, but just in a few minutes. We also have the shorts area that's very new. Scott's doing it. And we get a lot of feedback from our clients almost on a daily basis, right? And if they're doing something that's working, we're going to share it here in 1-minute bites. So if there are agents that don't really, want to sit through an hour class, I totally understand. Everybody's busy, right? But you might want to subscribe to our shorts. And when you see something that's really cool, you can share it with them. Say, hey, you know what? These guys got, what is this? It's a buyer lead for $2.86 for an open house. Like, isn't that interesting, right? And you share it with them. And it's sort of bite-sized, 1-minute long things there to help you. The real estate mastery class, again, if you don't want to sit during our live classes, they're here. And then my classes are here. And there's even reviews if, you want to share things with people. This is feedback reviews from real estate agents and lenders. So everybody, that's my story. Are there any questions? I don't see any. I'm happy to take them. While I'm waiting for questions, I want to point out 2 more things. When you log in, after you've done all the setup, every time you log in, we put you on the dashboard. Okay, we bring you right here. And lenders and title, they have their own kind of dashboard, and it has kind of all these tools. But an agent also has these 2 tabs, which is generate seller leads and generate buyer leads. So if the agent can come to the dashboard and decide, I need buyers or I need sellers, and whatever they click on, all the tools, all the assets that are in the system to help them are teed up right here. So whether it's marketing, later stage homes, whether it's emails that help them engage, whether it's our landing pages designed for homeowners or our PDF guides designed for homeowners, they can click on marketing tools, and I kind of showed you how you've done that. And they can run ads, and all the ads that they create here are really the ads specifically to get sellers, right? And if they want buyers, they can go here. They can also download that fancy listing presentation right here if you don't want to take them over to the listings. And then one last thing. So that makes it easier because going through all these tabs can get a little bit, confusing. If you're working with realtors, and there's some realtors that are flat out busy all the time, and there are others that just aren't. And I definitely recommend you introduce them to this marketing calendar because on each day, only the business days, the weekdays, there is one thing to do, right? And you can click on it and it will tell you, let's click on iBuyer, download the checklist and get to the marketing tools. That's all, we just tee it up for that one thing. If you want to say, hey, I want a PDF guide for home buyers. Okay, well, what do I got to do? Well, I can download a checklist. There's a step-by-step guide here because there's a little more steps, and then click here and you're going to go right to the area to start marketing. So it's like a funnel to help you get things done. If you're doing things once a day, I guarantee you're going to capture leads in your business and grow. So we're just doing this to make things easy. There's also a really useful thing here, our PowerPoints here for real estate mastery, which is a good story, intro to L, which is really good for you. We made this for lenders and title professionals to give a high level of what listings to leads is. If you're going to go do a lunch and learn and you want to, get people involved, you want to explain, this is what it does, this is how it works, right? So it's a short slide deck. I'm going to help people understand what listings to leads, and then open house mastery. This is kind of, to help you understand how to market open houses. So I don't see any more questions. I appreciate you hanging out with me here. I will give you one pro tip before I let you go. When it comes to running ads on Facebook, well, whether it's Facebook or Google, the price on both platforms, it's set on an auction base. So when I say it's an average price of $3, sometimes it's $2, sometimes it's $4, sometimes it's $5. The price is almost never the same. But because it's auction based, if you're dealing with a lot of competitors, the price is going to be higher. And you may not know this, but if you've been in this industry for a while, you do. Right after the holidays, you're going to see that realtors just take a nap, take a break until March, and they'll say, oh yeah, everything's slowed down, right? And that's interesting because they're taking a break at the same time that their target market is also taking a break and sitting at home on Facebook. So your client, your competition is not running ads during this period. And your target market is sitting here on this thing, seeing what their friends are doing for the holiday. Because your competitors are not there, your cost per lead is dropping. And we have seen it in years where it's dropped 50%. I've seen years where lead costs on Facebook have dropped 90%, right? And that means that you're getting leads for 10 cents on the dollar. And if you want to be learning how to use Facebook, that's a good time to do that. If you want to be developing a database while everybody else is taking a nap, now is a good time to do that as well. If you have questions about that specifically, you're welcome to reach out to me at Vince@Listings to Leads. And I'm somewhere on the bottom of our homepage, or I'm on the lender and I'm on the office page. So you can reach out to me if you don't understand what's going on there. I'm happy to talk to you, but I will also point you to this class that says Facebook and Google, right? Which is on this page here. It's actually incredibly easy to run ads on Facebook and Google. You want to use our default settings so that you get leads with name, email, and phone number. It's this class that I did 5 days ago. And that's just, thanks for hanging out with me. That's my pro tip at the end of the class. Lead cost on Facebook and Google is gonna be down. It's the day after Christmas. It's gonna be down probably all through January, if not February. So thanks for joining me today. I hope this helped. This class is being recorded. It will be on this channel probably tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.